What the crap did you come up with, WHF? Hey, it's Wrestling Hero Figs! Well, we didn't come up with it. I mean, the development of this actual setup, yes, but what I'm saying is that this is the plan. Money in the Bank. It's gonna be defended on top of a building, and not just any building, but the WWE headquarters. So what are they gonna do? How is this gonna play out? That's what we're gonna go through, man. If you are stopping to the channel for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and go in the comments. How do you think this is gonna play out? Is this something that's actually gonna help out the ladder match? I mean, look, when it comes down to Money in the Bank, you really didn't need to add a little extra. Like, I'm happy and I'm actually genuinely excited to see how it's all gonna develop, but at the same time, like, you're already dealing with 15-foot ladders, let alone putting a ring on top of a building and having to fight through it all. So it's gonna be kind of like very similar to the Firefly Funhouse match that we saw at WrestleMania 36, or the Undertaker, the Buried Alive match that we just saw against AJ Styles. It's gonna be very cinematic. It's gonna have like that movie feel, and they are gonna be able to do a lot more with that. I mean, if you're talking about like working your way up into each individual level, because that's how it starts. It'll start on the first floor, and then, like I said, work your way up the corporate ladder, and then you go up to the second, and then once you make it up to the actual ring, this is where the action, this is where most of the fight and all the brawls, it's going to go down right here, my friends. It's going to be the men's as well as the women's, and it's going to be the same concept. Once you go up and reach that briefcase, you go ahead and snatch that. You'll get a number one contender spot any time of the year. You're not limited to the next pay-per-view. You got 365 days to throw this down. And I'm going to go over like kind of what it all took to put this together. I also want you to tell me in the comments if this is an action figure match that you guys would love to see. You guys are always asking for it. Hero Figs, when is the next WHF match? Hey, right here, we got some possibilities and we have options. And we don't have to stick to outside of the building. Like, yeah, we can get a lot of nonstop action on the first level, on the second, rooftop, but at the end of the day, this thing is actually double-sided. Some of you may have not seen the review on this. I would have to say this was it released about well over a year ago. The last SDCC, RIP 2021. Please hurry up, man. We need to see what's going to happen with. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But yes, you go around the building and there's an actual fight scene that you can do on either side. So you can put people through the actual windows. Like, there's some really neat stuff. This was the TNMT SDCC exclusive, and it came with like the 4 turtles. Extremely, and when I say rare, it's so hard to find. I know they were planning on releasing something like this again. This is made by NECA, but it never developed. It was supposed to be a different color, so I'm just glad that I picked this up first go around, because not only is this doing a lot for like my TNMT setup, but we've utilized this on more than one occasion when it comes to putting on the WWE content, man. I remember doing a setup, but now, dude, this is something that was like, I don't know, here's the thing about WWE, man. Like, I know there's a lot of stuff. There's like creators out there, like customizers, and then you see it play out like months or maybe, you know, like a year down the road, and look what's happening, dude. This is one thing that I want to point out, like, before we go further into like the whole building of this structure, this is actually paying a little bit of homage to WCW. They actually made a movie way back. I'm talking about either it was early 2000s, late 90s, and it was like a 3 steel cage setup. So they're actually taking a completely different approach, but at the same time, very similar concept of like fighting down to the very end all the way up top. And it was like, it was a bigger cage, a medium cage, and then it was a little itty bitty tiny cage. But now, I mean, they're stepping outside the building and actually fighting on top of it. Let's go ahead and go through this. Now, you guys saw last year's like the whole tutorial on how you can make your own Money in the Bank. This was the ideal choice for me. I got this from a WCW playset, really old. It was the Monday Nitro one, and this was actually part of the rafters, except what I did, I grabbed part of the rafter, I looped it around that piece of plywood, that way it can come all the way down and hold the Money in the Bank briefcases, and that's the gem. I mean, that's what's going to determine of whether or not you could be a potential champion down the road or not. The ladders, I mean, these are ringside. I think this one was a ringside exclusive. This one was part of that Jeff Hardy. I mean, really any ladder, you're going to want something tall for sure, as well as an in-between. That way you can get multiple spots, whether it's in between the ropes, over the ropes, through the top, all the way to the bottom. And this is something that I can actually see happening. It's just an early prediction. prediction, but I can see this match, since it is going to be cinematic and they are going to like do the whole movie thing. I can see someone being on the very top of the ladder, just getting ready to snatch that, right? And then next thing you know, someone gets pushed over and comes crashing all the way down to the bottom of the building. Again, it's just a thought, it's an idea, and I know technically that's murder, but at the same time, bro, dude, like nothing about this is supposed to be within the realm of normality. So getting back to it, right? SmackDown ring, you could use the Raw ring. I like the Mattel version just because when you come right here, if you look at the top of the actual like piece of the building part, if I were to go any further, like let's say I went with the Wicked Cool Toys ring, that one would be exceeding and overlapping right there, and it just wouldn't sit right. Now, what's actually supporting this is tying in to what had actually held this whole playset together, which is the actual box of it. And then what I did is that I grabbed the Wicked Cool Toys ring and I put that on top, grabbed a couple of DVD cases so it's all leveled, so if there are figures in there and we're doing the whole setup of it all, nothing's tipping over, tripping over, falling, and completely ruining what we built. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is gonna work well, man, and I'm just telling you, like, I got some other thoughts that are just kind of stirring up with this. I'm pretty excited to put on this content, man. Again, if you are stopping by, man, come join us. I can't stress to you what we're trying to put out here for you. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.